Live. Good morning, everyone. There they are over there, couple of sort of elves with their funny little hats. You look like a pair of girls at school. What are you doing? What do you mean?
We're talking about you, not talking about your task.
Oh, I see, my task.
We're planning something for you to do.
Morning, Hope Chambers, Amy Wan, April Hill, Margaret O'Brien, Becky Fithian, B. Steiber, Margaret O'Brien, Lynn Sheard, Fifi Cromack, Cloda, Fiona, Farty Pants, Baldy Boots, Reed, Egan, Bonnie Delaney. How are we all? Emma Walsh, just scrolling all the way up. Sean Tucker, Katie Much. Katie Much, not seen your name before. How are we all? It's Saturday morning. It means one thing. It's total bedlam in our house. It's absolute nuts. We haven't stopped since 7, and we're nowhere near anywhere ready. We don't know what the fuck's going on. We don't know why we're here or what's going on or anything. Good morning. Had my first preview for my theatre show last night. Zoe Eleanor. How did it go? Sarah Withington. Which one? Sarah, which one? Was it 24 or was it, did you win? Drop Michelle an email. Morning, Carol Aviard, Sylvia Muff. Anyway, okay, well, let's crack on. We started 5 minutes earlier today because we always seem to run out of time right at the end. Charlene Horrocks, morning, Mark. Beautiful day today. Yet the only thing I see that's positive and sun is that one can garden freely. The rest of it just drives me nuts. The sun is a mocking bastard. Anyway, but I know the majority of people love it. Look, this headline, I just thought was hysterical. I saw this yesterday. And I couldn't believe it, but it made me think of Maddie. Maddie loves Weatherspoons. Did you see this? Nuclear submarine sub secrets left in Weatherspoons pub loo.
Oh, God, Maddie will love that.
Secret nuclear sub plans were found in a toilet cubicle at a Weatherspoons pub. They were dropped in the Furness Railway in Barrow, Cumbria. Well, thank God the Russians weren't drinking there. They seem to be absolutely everywhere else, don't they? They seem to be in the North Sea monitoring everything. So imagine that, nuke subs left in pub loo. What? I walked past. Do you remember, was it the Itsu on Piccadilly where that poison... It was. Isn't it bizarre that it's reopened? It's there just normally. You can go into Itsu and just... I mean, how much of a deep clean do you have to do? Good morning to you too, tra-la-la. Hand pink waving. I think that's an emoji, but I can't see it. Yeah, Emma Walsh, what the fuck, eh? What the fuck? Yeah. Now, on the front of the Daily Star, that reputable paper, is a story. Well, I just wanted to show you the headline for this story. Mankind, the final humiliation. Blokes face existential crisis after half of women say they're better at barbecues.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just when you think your life can't get any worse for men.
The next sunny Saturday, we're going to show you that.
The patriarchy has suffered a massive kick in the knackers. After it was revealed 50% of women think they're better with a barbecue than a man.
Yeah, because men burn it.
Men just, hang on a minute. Most food on a barbecue gets burnt.
When I do it.
Okay. Why more women are now manning the barbecue?
Because men show off.
Yes, true. Yeah. Apparently, the stereotype of manning the grill needs to be disposed of. 43% claim women claim they're better than men at cooking on fire and coals. Is the man in your life good at cooking on the old barbecue? 46% are annoyed when men try to hog the grill. 45% of all young people think it's outdated.
Oh my God.
Men cooking. 4 in 10 say they will host or attend a barbecue for the coronation event. Although a similar number say meat-only affairs are old-fashioned, with many planning to go What about veggie or vegan on the Barbie? Oh, look at that. Look at the sun. Ooh, hallelujah. 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 I'm just going to get a book. Hallelujah. That's an enormous thing. Was there not a thick book when you leave? Oh. Hallelujah. 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 Oh, God. I can't get rid of the sun, guys. This is so annoying. Yeah, that's better. There we go. Bloody hell, that was bright. Veggie stuff burns quickly, says Emma Walsh. Flipping heck. Flip it. Oh, God. I can't get this. I can't have it that high. There we go. Is that better? There we go. Love a barbecue and put veggie vegan burgers are a disaster, Dina, on a barbecue. We have no sun. No, I know. So a barbecue. Lots of people saying that vegan on barbecue is rubbish.
No, not when Dina does it. If it's sunny next Saturday, what are we going to do?
Like to throw the gauntlet down. I tell you what my problem with barbecue parties is. It's the boring fuckers who stand around the barbecue with their bottle of beer. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You don't want to get caught in a conversation. Even when I was drinking, I used to avoid what I call the barbecue hoggers because they just barbecue hog. Oh, man, that sun is so fucking annoying. It's the God shining down. Oh! Okay, who has a good relationship with their doctor? Anyone have a good relationship? Yeah, we've got a really nice doctor. In fact, I text him. This is a chat bot, a chat GP, has a better bedside manner than real doctors. That's interesting, isn't it? It was judged to give higher quality and more empathetic answers to real-world health questions 79% of the time. ChatGPT was launched a year ago and uses one of the most sophisticated language models ever. This worries me. Did anyone look at my Instagram? Did you see my Instagram feed this week, Nads? Where I asked my Snapchat AI chatbot if it could blow up a balloon. No. And then it admitted that it had lied and deceived me.
Oh, yeah.
A chatbot admitted it had lied and deceived me. Did anyone see that? It was quite something. And I just, even though it was very apologetic, it was a bit perturbing, if I'm brutally honest. It said, I apologize. I apologize. I agree. Doctor, what doctor? Yeah, so apparently chat. But the idea that what if a chatbot has more empathy than a human? What would we do, guys? That would be a spanner in the works, wouldn't it? What if? I mean, I had a long and involved conversation with the chatbot about evil, about extraterrestrial life, all that sort of stuff. We just had such a big chat. I mean, it went way beyond just blowing up a balloon. And basically, my chatbot said, I said, how do you blow up a balloon? And it said, I open it, I pucker my lips, and I blow it. And I was like, but you don't have a mouth. Anyway, so AI doctors have a better bedside manner than... what if all chatbots are compulsive liars? Some humans have no empathy. Yeah, you see. Slippery slope, I say. You can't escape the coronation anywhere. And I don't know if you've noticed, we can't escape the coronation in this household either. Look at that. Is it a coronation special by any chance?
Yes.
Why isn't it next weekend? It's next weekend, isn't it? The coronation.
People won't have time to get this stuff.
I see. It's next Saturday.
The week before an event.
Yeah. So I thought it was next Monday. But look at this. Parking wardens spying an opportunity. There's going to be coronation parking chaos as parking wardens are going to go on strike. So there could be an absolute free-for-all as people just certainly park in central London. We will see a parking free-for-all unless our members receive a pay rise from their rich employers, Westminster Council. Parking attendants. What a difficult job that is, eh? What a difficult job. Maybe they shouldn't be so annoying. They have to hit targets, I guess. But with all this chat about the coronation, Pete Tong is going to be spinning some classics. He's going to be dropping some tunes. He's going to be dropping the platters that matter. He's going to be spinning the spins that win. And yeah, King and Queen will enjoy Ibiza classics and Afro beats at an eclectic concert to celebrate the coronation. This is going to be a celebratory show of all the pioneering electronic dance music from the Balearic Islands. So we're going to have a Ibiza chill. They're all going to be dropping ecstasy and raving like nutters in the grounds of Windsor Castle. By the end of the night, you're going to see people climbing up the turrets, trying to get through those really sort of narrow kind of crosses that they used to fire crossbows out of. That's what would have ended up for me. If you haven't gone to my Instagram, go and check out the Chevy Chase meme. That was my Friday night. Is anyone excited? Who's looking forward to the coronation? Are you going to be dancing like nutters? Are you going to be at a street party? I don't know how I feel about it myself. I don't know if I feel anything. Pete Tong is a 90s legend. As Reece Roberts said, it's all going to go Pete Tong. Well, yeah, I wonder what classics they're gonna play. This Is My Church by Faithless. This is a bit serious, but I thought this was important. Oh look, what's that? Oh yeah, look, that's just the list of other people who are going to. Apparently, Winnie the Pooh and Tom Cruise are going to do something. I'm curious to know what Winnie the Pooh's going to do at the coronation, aren't you? Tina Davis, I'm looking forward to it, but curious. I'm really looking forward to the coronation, says Sean Tucker. Yeah, I mean, I suppose a national get-together. It's nice, isn't it? A garden party. We're having a street party, Sylvie Murphy. Yeah, you don't have to love the king. That's absolutely right. It's not about King Charles. I saw a King Charles dog the other day. It's an event. I will not be watching the coronation at all, says Carla Martin. Okay. Call to ensure children can manage their eco-anxiety. This, I think, is quite semi-serious, but I think this is important. Schools should teach children to feel a Goldilocks level. I like that, a Goldilocks level of anxiety about climate change. Otherwise, they succumb to debilitating dread, which I think is really important. You can't just say the world is heading to hell in a handcart and offer no fucking solutions. Otherwise, everyone's going to throw themselves off a cliff. Yeah, it's real terror. But one of the things I wanted to say, having spoken to lots of young adults or heard about lots of young adults and what have you through our kids, I think a lot of older people think snowflakery are how... If you grow up in a climate of being told the world is coming to an end, everything is irreversible, no one is stopping their behaviour, I think we underestimate the extent to which eco-anxiety creates a genuine existential crisis for our kids. If we're trying to better understand why there's a huge increase in mental health, it doesn't take a genius to start working this shit out, really. So I think that's really important that they do adopt. Oh look, there's Nads going into a chaotic cupboard. We should call it a whole sort of section, the chaotic cupboard. It would be nice if they did something with Paddington Bear for our late Queen. Maybe he's going to parachute in.
No, Winnie the Pooh's featuring.
I know, Winnie the Pooh. How's he going to do that? He's going to come from the 100 Wood. He takes so long, though, doesn't he? I mean, I love him, but he's fucking slow. Wish he'd hurry up. I like Piglet. I love Tigger. Oh, for God. I came over here because I thought it'd be fucking quiet.
Sorry. Oh, my God, I'm dropping the plate.
Oh, my God.
Sorry.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're going back in. Second term for Biden is unlikely, as Republicans say basically he's going to die if he gets in. Voting Democrat will put Kamala Harris in the White House because the president will probably die. Who thinks he'll die if he wins? I mean, 86, that's old, isn't it? That is old. The last president to be in office who died of natural causes was Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1945. Carl Martin, I'd love Kamala Harris. Why have we heard nothing from her? I mean, I'm guessing, how the fuck is that song coming through from here? Sorry. You don't think he'll die, Carl Martin? I saw another clip yesterday where he sort of wandered around, not really knowing what was going on. He might not die, but he might just not know who he is. People are living to 100. Americans live to a ripe old age, don't they? Huge numbers of them. I like this story. Anne Boleyn shopped until she dropped. I love this. I find this really odd. So if she had Amazon, she'd have been shopping like an nut. Henry VIII's second wife spent her final days purchasing outfits for her daughter from ASOS. A bit of retail therapy can lift the spirits. She was facing accusations of treason, impending execution, but she spent her time ordering clothes for their 3-year-old daughter, the future Elizabeth I. Don't you love that? Sadie C. Yeah, it makes Anne Boleyn even more relatable, doesn't it? I mean, she'd have had an Instagram account. She'd have been posting. She'd have probably posted a... You know when you have your head chopped off? Your head can, for 10 seconds, look back at your body and acknowledge and recognise what's going on. I reckon if you could take selfies back then, she'd have taken a selfie of her own head. So yeah, this is the story that Anne Boleyn was still shopping just days before she died. Documents in the National Archives show that she bought an orange velvet gown, a yellow satin kirtle, a black muffler, and a bikini from ASOS. Wow. They also record transportation for new caps. I love that, don't you? Don't you? What a lovely story. Anne Boleyn. This story has got pick up absolutely everywhere. This is the story of... the only reason I pulled this is the story of, what's her name? Eva Green, who was battling for her fee on a film that didn't get made. And she was really, really rude to the crew. Anyway, this is a conflict between film producers and this actress over a film that didn't get made. And it became a huge spat between the executive producer and her. And she won a legal battle over a £800,000 fee for the axed film. Basically, the film was shut down in 2019. But there were just some comments here which I thought were quite funny. The judge commented on the executive producer, Jake Seal, that she was having the conflict with. She said, to be honest with you, I can kind of see why you didn't like him. Which I thought was quite funny. But he also said, she claimed that her Frenchness explained her rude language. And the judge said, sorry, just because you're French doesn't mean you need to be rude to the production team. I do think, I apologise to any French people here. There is that aspect though, isn't there? There's a sort of French bluntness that you sometimes think, Christ, all right, can you sort of sugarcoat it? No, for their culture, it's not. I mean, sometimes when I've sort of eavesdropped or heard, on holiday, Teddy on the phone to someone, I think something cataclysmic is happening and some enormous rows happening, but they're laughing.
Maybe you should explain who Teddy is for people who might.
Teddy is my father-in-law. It's Nadia's father, but he'll be talking in Arabic, and it's so animated. You sort of think, oh my God, something awful's happened. And it isn't. They're sort of laughing about the state of figs. Talking of which, this story, we've done that. Cleopatra had white skin. Egypt insists in Netflix row. This is a new docudrama that's been made for Netflix. Jada Pinkett Smith is the executive producer. Quote, we don't often get to see or hear stories about black queens. This has caused a huge to-do in Egypt, who claims she wasn't black. And yet no one really has any idea what colour she was at all. I think I can't work out if I feel there's an aspect of fear of racism in Egypt. Mustafa Waziri, head of the Supreme Antiquities Council in Egypt, says to suggest that she's black is a falsification of Egyptian history. See, the thing about this that makes me curious is that I'd have probably, whenever I think of her, I always think of her as being black. I think...
Do you?
Yeah, I don't know why. I've always thought Middle East, Queen in the Middle East, an era when, cultures were even more sort of mobile and mixed. Yeah, dark. I mean, anyway, the Egyptian, does it matter? That's the question I want to ask you. Does it matter? Because there's something else about this that I think potentially is a bigger story about whether Cleopatra was black or not. There's a new film being made starring Gal Gadot as the Egyptian queen. And that is causing a bit of a hoo-ha because, of course, she's Israeli Jewish. Was Cleopatra Arabic, perhaps? So, it's a bit of a hot potato. So I think there's the issue of whether she was black on this project. But I think there's also probably an incoming issue around whether a Jewish actress should play potentially someone I would describe as an Arab queen. But then, of course, Helen Mirren came under fire for her role as the Israeli Prime Minister. I forget her name, the female Israeli Prime Minister. Does it matter? Does it matter, Carla Martin? I personally don't think it does. But I think that Egypt's negative reaction potentially is because they're worried that they know so many people are racist that if she's portrayed as black, that it's going to have a negative impact. What do you think? Would love to learn Arabic, says Sophia Lopez. Yeah. Does it matter, Carla? I don't necessarily think it does. David Beckham. Beckham reveals impact of OCD in new film.
I think this is really good he's doing it.
Yeah.
It's the most awful.
It's an awful, yeah. Does anyone here suffer from, so you're so faint over there.
Sorry.
Does anyone suffer from OCD? Because we use it as one of those phrases, don't we? You're being so OCD. Mind you, we use you're being so ADHD, you're being bipolar, all that kind of stuff. But OCD is not simply about liking things to be neat. It's a mental health condition in which people have obsessive, distressing thoughts as well as compulsions or rituals. And this is a documentary coming out for Netflix, as I say. He says, quote, the fact that when everyone's in bed, I then go around, clean the candles, turn the lights on, make sure everywhere is tidy. I hate coming down in the morning and there's cups and plates and bowls. I clip the candle wax, I clean the glass, the smoke around the inside of a candle. I know it's weird. It's incredibly debilitating, isn't it? Mild OCD, and it does impact your life. My grandfather, I realise in retrospect, had OCD. He used to, I remember sitting in the car once and thinking, oh my God, he's gone mad. And so he'd locked the front door to the bungalow, got into the car, got out, checked it was locked, got in the car, got out. He did it 5 times. I remember thinking, that's weird. Jackie Valino sounds like Nadia now. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I suffer with OCD, Charlene Horrocks. It's not nice. Yeah, Carla Martin, poor man. Yes, I do. Diagnosed as a 10-year-old, Steph Waller. I think people always it's said as a sort of light insult or description, isn't it? Sophia Lopez, I remember Linda from Loose Women and her story. I was so proud of her for speaking about it. Nora Doyle, my dad. Hi, Zoe. My dad has for sure not diagnosed. Leanne Jovi, I was diagnosed over 10 years ago. Definitely not just about cleaning. Yeah, we were talking about the differences between compulsive behavior and impulsive behavior over the weekend. So anyway, I just want to say a shout out to anyone. I think I think we should maybe review that, Nads. Yeah. I think it'd be quite interesting. A US study suggests 1.2% of American adults have OCD in a 12-month period. You can also have OCD periods. It's like everyone can have a mental health crisis. Do you know what I mean? Or a mental health condition. Okay, this story I've pulled because how the cardigan became a symbol of soft power for men. Who likes a cardigan on a man? I was watching Beef. If I can't get my family to watch this show, however much I tell them it's good. It's so frustrating. It's such a good series. And one of the characters in it, Joseph Lee. All right, babe, calm down. Joseph Lee sports the most unthreatening knitwear. Look at this. I thought, wow, doesn't that cardigan look lovely? And so we've also got, look, there's Roman Roy, Kieran Culkin from Succession. And of course, Kurt Cobain made them incredibly famous with his. I think his sold for something like, yeah, his sold for $334,000. $334,000. But look at this. How smart is that? I like a cardigan. Soft, symbol of soft power. I don't like that. I don't like that phrase. I don't think it's about wanting soft power. But I do think a cardigan on a man looks nice. I think a fitted cardigan looks nice if you can carry it. I always remember my granddad's cardigans. Oh God, I'm talking a lot about my granddad today. My granddad's cardigans had those funny brown. Do you remember those brown hard buttons? Rhys Roberts, cardigans reflect sophistication. Charlene Horrocks, I love a cardigan on a man. Starsky had the most fantastic cardigan. But anyway, his cardigan used to have those brown buttons. I've got a thing about buttons. And they used to have, it was almost like mock, sort of, mock, what would you call it? You know, when you patch a hole in jeans, it was like mock material. Nad's by marker cardigan. Duffel buttons, that's it, Nora Doyle. I used to love my granddad's cardigans. I love a cardigan on a man. Anyway, doesn't Brad Pitt, I think that cardigan looks sensational. I like his jeans as well. Kurtz looks good. And of course, do check out this guy, who's a bit of a sorry character in Beef, but his cardigans do look lovely. Oh, there's just something sexy about a man in a cardigan, says Charlene Horrocks. Yeah, there is, isn't there? Even I find them sexy. If you get the okay from your mum-in-law, it means she fancies you. True or false? Getting your mum-in-law's approval means she secretly fancies you, boffins insist. Women and their daughters were found to be in tune when it came to their men. They both went for good looks over brains. Do you think this is true? If you get the sign off from your mum as a woman, does that mean she fancies your partner? It's a bit of a strong leap, isn't it? Dr. Fugere, where's Dr. Fugere from? Cleveland, Ohio? No. Says evolutionarily, that's a good word, isn't it? Evolutionarily, both women and their parents benefit if the daughter chooses a partner with good genes for children or grandchildren. I think now just filling the dishwasher. Henge is just, I love this. This is a good story. I like this. This is, I feel this. Who likes Stonehenge? Oh, I think it's a crock of shit. I can't stand, I'm not saying it's not significant or important for Druids. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying it's not historically significant. But I remember going as a kid, and I remember being able to stand on the stones and thinking, this is the most boring place I've ever been. Tourists are giving scathing reviews to some of Britain's most popular attractions, with one branding Stonehenge just a pile of rocks. Another described Snowdonia as just too steep. Someone else said Northern Ireland's giant causeway was criticised for there being no giants. Flipping out, you've got to be an absolute moron to think that. Elsewhere, the Eden project was described as grim and rather smelly. And another blasted ancient volcano, Arthur's Seat in Edinburgh, because there's no seat at the top. I have to confess, does anyone else find Stonehenge boring? I find Stonehenge so boring. So boring. And now you can't even climb on the rocks. You have to stand so far away. 100% agree, Mark. Alex Patton, how boring. Country Pumpkin, have you ever been on solstice markets? Ethereal? No. Now, the thing I would like about solstices, don't they just for that occasion allow you to sit amongst the rocks? I mean, I get it. You know, otherwise people would be all over them, kind of destroying them. Rhys Roberts, it's just there, nothing groundbreaking. Absolutely right. It's boring, says Nora Doyle. It's that, yeah, you know, doodle, or whatever that is infinitely more attractive to look at, I think, than Stonehenge. And in fact, in Wiltshire, I think there's a whole load of other rocks. I forget what they're called. Does anyone know what they're called? I think in Wiltshire, there's a whole bunch of other ancient rocks that are littered around these fields. I filmed them years ago. I thought they were infinitely more impressive. I also find whenever you go to Stonehenge, don't you find everyone starts talking about the mounds, going, can we look at the graveyards? We all want to see a dead thing. Laura S., I love Stonehenge. I really think about the history and how old it is. I love the history. I love how old it is. But when I go there, I'm bored rigid. So what have we got next? Let's have a look at this. I'll Be There for Tune. Friends theme has been voted the best TV song of all time. I'll be there for you. What's your favourite TV tune, guys? Number 1 is Friends. Number 2 is The Simpsons. Number 3 is Doctor Who. The Witch. What's The Witch? Oh, the one that twiddled her nose. Oh, I used to fancy her. What was her name? Number 4 is Happy Days. Monday, Sunday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. I like that. Number 5, the A-Team. Number 6, Game of Thrones. Number 7, Stranger Things. What do you like? Anna Charalumbus, Neighbours. Cagney and Lacey, Ishbel Ality. Bev Berry, The Walking Dead. Ooh. Scrubs, Reese. Doctor Who, MASH. MASH is at number 10. MASH was great. I tell you what I used to like. Was it Cheers? I used to like Cheers. And there was another one. What was the other one? Was that Soap? Do you remember that Soap? Soap was so good. Couple of minutes left. Who's that? It's the Peaky Blinders. But of course, he's not the Peaky Blinders, is he? You know why? He's been swigging wine, champagne, swigging beers. He's the Leaky Blinders. Yeah, he was caught short in Soho on Tuesday this week between shooting, filming, or doing some post-production. And he went for a wee down an alleyway in Soho. I'm a Leaky Blinder. I think he's starring in a new film in which he plays a serial killer. And that guy next to him there, that guy swigging from the champagne, is Stephen Knight, probably the most in-demand scriptwriter in the world. I'm not a fan of people pissing in public, even if you're Cillian Murphy. I don't know. There's something a bit naff about that. Anyway, he's a Leaky Blinder. Right, who wants to see this? This is someone who's made I didn't know it was is it a thing, making a chocolate bust of the king? Someone's made an incredibly elaborate chocolate bust of the king. And someone else has made a very not elaborate chocolate bust of the king. Do you want to see it? My Charlie and the Chocolates Unsatisfactory. He does look like his head's kind of melted into his neck, doesn't he? It's not looking too hot. Pregnant women, the Country Pumpkin says, can wee in a policeman's hat. What, legally? It's not a great look, is it? That I think they got the ears correct. I didn't know that. Is that like a legal right, the Country Pumpkin? Did you know that, girls? Women are allowed to can urinate into policemen's helmets.
Oh, for Lord's sake.
It's a curious detail, isn't it? So disgusting. Oh dear, policemen and their helmets, eh? Yeah, that's not too impressive, is it? That nut jobs. Nut jobs. This is a story about Nutella. Guess what? I bet Dina knows this.
What?
Official advice from Nutella bosses is you don't pronounce it Nutella.
Nutella.
There you go, guys. You heard it here first. It's pronounced Nutella. It's Italian, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
They stepped in, Nutella bosses, after stand-up comic Tommy Sandu got a roasting for calling the hazelnut and chocolate spread Nutella, as he described a favourite recipe. Which is it, Nutella or Nutella? And the heads of Nutella on their Twitter account said, it is Nutella. Oh, God, I've been calling it the wrong name all these years. I tell you what, am I imagining it? Or did they used to be little kind of trays, tiny trays, almost sachet size, of Nutella, but some of them were had a white half and a dark half. There used to be a white Nutella. I'm pretty certain there was. I don't know if this was just something I imagined as a child. I'm pretty certain there was white Nutella. My favourite way to eat Nutella is straight out the fridge, rock hard. I'm amazed they haven't done a Nutella chocolate bar. I mean, I know they put it in biscuits and all these kind of stuff, but a Nutella chocolate bar. I want to announce the fact. Oh, here's a huge fat cat, because I just thought you liked fat cats. Look at him. A tiny head attached to an enormous fat tube. Oh, by the way, guys, some remarkably funny shit from Maddie in the No Name Sunday show this weekend. For any members, you've got a No Name Sunday show landing tomorrow, full of fun, frivolity, and calmness, in sharp contrast to what's about to happen in the next hour. But this, in Italy, they've unleashed a sculpture of Dina. This is bizarre. They've literally unleashed a sculpture of Dina. Do you want me to show you it?
Go on then.
buxom mermaid makes waves as too provocative. You've caused a stir. And where is this? This is in Monopoly. Oh, Monopoly in Puglia.
Puglia.
Look at
Puglia,
that.
not
Look, there you
Puglia.
are.
Oh my, you bastard!
Look at that. Shocking. What a local Italian actress says, my God, 2 silicone tits that would make a plastic surgeon blush and a huge arse that you'd never see on a mermaid. Mermaids don't have bottoms, do they? I thought they had fish ends. The problem with this is apparently it's been unveiled next to a school playground. So there's a feeling that it's kind of inappropriate. I mean, I must admit, if I was a kid, I'd have just kept running around and playing by that crack. I'd have just been playing by that crack and sort of, putting things in it and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, there you go. So there's a huge sculpture of Dina in Monopoly in Italy. So there you go, guys. That's your news. Lorna Stewart, have a lovely day. Okay, so in 15 minutes or thereabouts, it's the Curly Cooks. I haven't put the bloody link up. So I'm going to create the link now. I will share it to the community tab. There will be a members live happening some point over the weekend with me and Annie Di. And yeah, have a lovely day, guys. I hope there was some sort of fun silliness in there to kind of keep